Today, I'm going to show you a very controversial video by Umar Johnson, where he talks about Michael Jackson, the music industry, and several black celebrities. In this video, we're not just watching the clip, we're breaking down what Umar Johnson is actually saying and what message he's trying to deliver. Make sure you watch till the end.
I never got to ask you. I know he got a movie coming out next year, but I never got your take on him. Michael Jackson. How you feel about him?
I'm a Michael Jackson fan. In fact, since we just spoke about Hulk Hogan, as much as I was into Hulk Hogan, brother, nothing compared to Michael Jackson for me. Remember, my mother named me after Jermaine Jackson. Remember, I was born Jermaine, not Umar. My father changed my name years later. I was Jermaine for the first 8 years of my life, right? Because my mother was a Jermaine Jackson fan. Because remember, Jermaine Jackson had a pretty good career. It didn't compare to Michael at all. But Jermaine Jackson had some hits. Jermaine Jackson was hot. He just couldn't compare to his younger brother. So I was named after Jermaine. But I was a Jackson 5 fan, and I was a Michael Jackson. Same thing, Art. I had every Michael Jackson jacket. I had the gloves. I had the shoes. I had the pants. I had the shiny socks. I had all the music. I had an S-curl, the glasses. Bro, I did the moon slide. We used to have Michael Jackson dancing competitions. I can still remember right now, Art, when Michael Jackson came to Philadelphia for his world tour. My mother would not buy me the ticket. I still remember now. If there's one thing you say, what's one thing you'll always remember that your mother didn't do for you? And I mean this in a light way. You feel me? Because it ain't no grudge or nothing. I love my mom to death, okay, to life. It was, if my mom ever said, what's one thing I did to you that you'll never get over? You did not buy me a ticket to the Michael Jackson concert. I never got over that, Art.
In this part, Umar Johnson explains his deep emotional connection to Michael Jackson. He talks about being named after Jermaine Jackson and growing up as a massive Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson fan. He also shares a personal regret, never getting the chance to see Michael Jackson live in concert. This section is less about conspiracy and more about personal pain and admiration.
But as I've said on so many occasions, Michael Jackson was a business genius, Art. He was a genius. He wasn't just a musical genius. Michael Jackson mastered all aspects of the music industry. Remember when Eminem dissed him and he bought Eminem's catalog? Michael Jackson bought Eminem's catalog when he dissed him, bro. Mike was gangster.
Here, Umar Johnson shifts the focus from music to business. He presents Michael Jackson not just as a legendary artist, but as someone who fully understood the music industry. The point he's making is about power, ownership, and control, not just talent.
And Mike was murdered because when Michael Jackson purchased the Beatles catalog, that automatically made him 50% owner of Sony Records, Art. Sony Records never forgave Michael Jackson for buying the Beatles catalog. They wanted the Beatles catalog back. So what did they do? They sabotaged Michael Jackson's last album, Invincible, which automatically put Michael Jackson into debt. They wanted Michael Jackson to satisfy his debt by giving up the Beatles catalog. And Michael said, no, I'm going to go on tour. Everybody wants to see me again. I'm going to go on tour, make this money, pay all off. And Michael Jackson made a mistake. He came back to LA to practice at the Staples Center, where another assassinated black celebrity, Kobe Bryant, used to play. And they murdered Michael Jackson. And that black doctor was made the fall guy. He only went to jail for a couple years. He's out now, I believe, and he's going to live happily ever after for keeping his mouth shut about how the music industry murdered Michael Jackson. And also keep in mind, Art, Michael Jackson.
This is where Umar Johnson makes his most serious allegation. He claims that Michael Jackson became a target after purchasing the Beatles catalog, which gave him major influence over Sony Records. According to Umar, when Michael refused to give up that catalog, he was placed under financial pressure and later murdered. These are allegations, not proven facts, but they form the core of Umar Johnson's narrative.
Art, Michael Jackson was brought up on pedophilia charges as soon as he entered a bid to buy Marvel Comics. Michael Jackson was going to be the owner of Marvel Comics. Imagine if Michael Jackson would have produced a Black Panther movie. Imagine if Michael Jackson would have produced a Black Panther movie. The white power structure of America didn't want Michael Jackson owning Marvel Comics, so they set it up for him to be accused of sexual molestation. And remember, one of the white boys who he was accused of touching went on one of them talk shows, what was about 3 years ago? And what did he say? Michael Jackson never touched us. Our parents made us say that so they could get paid. They exonerated Mike. And you know what? I respect that white boy Art because he didn't have to do that. He did not have to clear Michael Jackson's name, but he did. He cleared him and said, Michael Jackson never touched me. My parents made us say that so we can get paid.
In this section, Umar Johnson suggests that the allegations against Michael Jackson appeared when Michael was close to purchasing Marvel Comics. He implies that these accusations were used as a tool to stop him from gaining more power. Umar also points out that some accusers later said Michael never harmed them.
Staples Center. And of course, we know they killed Kobe because Kobe Bryant was about to start his own sneaker company that was going to be owned by the players themselves. He was murdered in that helicopter crash with his daughter. Rest in peace to both of them. About 1 week before he was about to release the first Kobe ones of his own sneaker brand. I saw a picture of them too. They was hot. Oh, they would have outsold Nike. So they had to kill Kobe before he released that sneaker. And Kobe Bryant was going to start his own professional basketball association headquartered where? China, America's arch nemesis. And Kobe Bryant was the Michael Jordan of China. Michael Jordan was not more popular than no athlete. Kobe Bryant was the most popular athlete in the world in China. He was Michael Jordan in China. They could not let Kobe start that league, Art. The Chinese economy is stronger than the American economy. If Kobe Bryant would have took a basketball lead to China, America would have been done. Kobe didn't realize it, Art, but he was interfering with America's geopolitical and global aspirations. So Kobe had to die. They had to stop him from starting the league, stop him from coming out with the Nike. Whitney Houston was murdered because Whitney Houston was, she was going to order an audit on all her earnings. She felt like she had been robbed. She also wanted her masters back, and she wanted her publishing back. Jimi Hendrix was murdered, and they used the snow bunny to get him too, in a pool. Jimi Hendrix and Whitney Houston died almost identically. Jimi Hendrix, we found out, his manager was British Secret Service MI6, who was a white supremacist, who had already talked about possibly unaliving Jimi Hendrix because Jimi Hendrix wouldn't do what he wanted him to do, and Jimi Hendrix wanted to finance the Black Panthers. Jimi Hendrix was going to finance the Black Panthers. Sam Cooke was murdered because Sam Cooke didn't want to give the mafia control of his music, and he also was going to finance Dr. King and Malcolm X once they came together. So they killed Sam Cooke about 6 to 8 weeks before they killed Malcolm. They killed Sam Cooke, and then they killed Malcolm because Sam Cooke was going to be the financier for Malcolm and Martin, who were about to come together. Nobody died for the reason they told you, bro. Nobody died. Tupac was politicizing the gangs in LA. Tupac had to die. He was too popular, too famous. His mother was a Black Panther, Afeni Shakur. Tupac was America's worst nightmare. They couldn't afford it. He had to die. And we found out later what?
Here, Umar Johnson expands his argument beyond Michael Jackson. He brings up Kobe Bryant, Whitney Houston, Jimi Hendrix, Sam Cooke, and Tupac. His belief is that whenever a Black celebrity begins to challenge financial or political systems, they are silenced. This viewpoint is emotional and deeply controversial.
We just got to do the best we can because we're behind enemy lines, bro. But we got to unite with African people around the world. Pan-Africanism is the only thing that's going to save us. All this division, all this sectionalism, that's not going to do nothing for Black people. We got to unite. I stand with my Trinidad and Tobago brothers and sisters. I'm hoping my sister Nicki Minaj come to her senses. I stand with my Sahel Alliance Africans, my Burkina Faso, my Niger, my Mali. I stand with my brothers and sisters in Asia, Australia, Canada, Europe, South Pacific. One race, one people, one. What Donald Trump say, America first. You know he got that from Marcus Garvey, right? Marcus Garvey said race first. Donald Trump said America's first. That come from Marcus Garvey, man. They taking our stuff and using it against us. And Nicki Minaj, does she know that some of the greatest Pan-Africanists came from Trinidad and Tobago? Stokely Carmichael Kwame Ture was Trinidad and Tobago. Henry Sylvester Williams, who convened the first Pan-African Conference, was Trinidad and Tobago. C.L.R. James was Trinidad and Tobago. George Padmore, I believe, was Trinidad and Tobago. You had at least 4 of the greatest Pan-Africanists came from Trinidad and Tobago. So I need my sister Nicki Minaj to come back to the red, black, and green. Put down the red, white, and blue and come back to the red, black, and green. But I'm confident that she will. I love Nicki Minaj. I wish her nothing but the best. And I need her to get off of that Republican Party plantation. We don't need another Candace Owens. I know they're using you to neutralize Jasmine Crockett and Candace Owens. Nicki Minaj, don't do it. We don't need another. We don't need another Candace Owens. Please, sister, stop while you have time.
Toward the end, Umar Johnson moves away from conspiracy and focuses on ideology. He calls for global Black unity and Pan-Africanism. He also addresses Nicki Minaj directly, warning her not to become politically misused. This section reflects his broader political and cultural message. Umar Johnson's video is less about hard evidence and more about a belief system. Some points are emotional, some are historical references, and others are strong allegations. The question is, do you see this as speaking truth to power or as conspiracy thinking? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. More deep dive analysis coming soon.